It's so cute. Hello.
What's up, one?
Oh God, that's
What's happening?
one of them days, folks.
I'm telling you, I've
It's been one of those years.
I can't lie. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can you believe we're halfway through October already? Like, what's happening?
Nah, the whole thing's mash up. Because why is everything going so quickly?
Yeah, it's one of those years. But we've got lots going on. We
Mhm.
have got the Black Excellence Weekender coming up.
Mhm. I was
The
about to
talk
say
to the
pop-up fest because I'm so used to saying pop-up fest. I keep starting with that. I'm like the
mm.
Black Excellence pop-up weekender.
Yeah, no, it's a whole weekender.
The
Do you
whole
think we were
weekender.
too ambitious?
Yeah, but why not? When have we been small thinkers? Ever since, never.
Because I was like, it sounded like a good idea. Now I'm a bit shocked, me not lie.
Yeah.
A whole weekend of events. But
Yeah.
it's being received well, which is good. People are interested.
Yeah.
The lineup of events are going to be fantastic. We've
Mhm.
got my event, Cupcakes and Cocktails. I don't think I've done a Cupcakes and Cocktails for a couple of years.
No.
Still, just basically as Black Excellence kind of took over, everything kind of went to the back burner. But yes, we will be kicking off the Black Excellence Weekend with Cupcakes and Cocktails. Then
Mhm.
on the Saturday, we will be having Black Excellence Pop-Up Fest, won't we?
Yeah.
And then your daughter Cheyenne will be holding her pre-launch showcase.
Yeah.
This is Rhythm Masters, and we're really excited to be able to give young entrepreneurs a chance, your daughter as well as the other young people, to showcase. And we've got quite a few young people who have booked up or have inquired about stalls, which has
I
been
love that.
really, really good.
Yeah.
Um, then we have got on the Sunday, we have got like a Black Excellence Pop-Up Fest continuation. That's going to be from 3. But then Quincy's going to be hosting our thank you party and
Mhm.
his little soiree with Slim, the comedian, and
Mhm.
Cat B. So it's going to be a full weekender of Black Excellence, to say the least. It's going to be something where we're going to collaborate and we're going to just really champion youth entrepreneurship, Black entrepreneurship, female entrepreneurship, and
Yeah.
just, see where we can
Do our
grow
thing.
and
Do
we'll
what we
just do our
do.
thing. Yeah. Are
Yeah.
you scared?
I don't know. I'm not scared yet, but you know me. It will come at like the day before.
You start to get nervous
Yeah, I get the tension headaches, don't I? So yeah, I'll get the tension headaches just
the day
before.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll get nervous just
And
before.
by then I would be calm and I'll
Then you
calm you
calm
down,
down.
innit?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, love. So who we got on today?
Today, I'm excited to say I've got two amazing ladies that I've recently met, but I feel like I've known them for a while, but they're lovely.
Right.
Originally, funnily enough, we met on TikTok, and I don't believe on meeting people online. So I've gone against all of my usual introverted self kind of ways, and they're lovely ladies, they're mums, they're doing their thing, they're taking their content creation on TikTok seriously. They come on my lives regularly, I go on theirs, and they've got a lot of amazing opinions, and yeah, they're amazing. We've got the wonderful Karita. I call her
Right.
Karita Mamacita because that's her name on TikTok, and I have to stop doing that. And we've got the beautiful Missy, and I keep calling her Missy Moo because that's her name on TikTok. So I always call her
Right.
Missy Moo. But yeah, I'm so excited that we get to bring them on today and get them to have a little taste of No Bravado.
Hopefully it won't be their last time either. So without further ado, let's add the beautiful Missy. Hello.
Hey, Missy's like the queen. She's like,
hi. Welcome. How do you
And
do?
the beautiful Karita. Yes. Can I ask that you guys put your phones or your things landscape? I should have said that beforehand.
Okay. Would that make a difference though?
It does. It makes your screen fuller. There you go.
Oh, right.
Yay.
Hey.
And now I can see you all. Welcome to No Bravado. Any friend of Natalie is a friend of mine. So happy to have you.
welcome, ladies.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having us. I'm Missy.
I'm interested to hear your opinions. We probably will be joined by a couple of gents later on. I don't know where they are, but hey, as we move, do you know what I mean? Quincy and Gary's one of our regulars, as well as Quincy, the comedian. He's one of our regulars as well, so they may pop up at some point. But yeah, nice to have you guys. So tell us a little bit about yourself and a bit about your platforms and what you're hoping to achieve and where people can find you.
Well, Karita, you go first, darling.
I was going to say, Missy, you go first.
Lead the way, my love.
So, I'm a single mum of two. I'm also a public health student at the moment.
Right.
And my TikTok is really, it's kind of like a little diary of myself, just a little bit of nice. Days out that I do with the kids, and sometimes like day in a life when I've gone to uni for the day. And I'm just looking forward to like sharing stuff of like when I graduate and what I do next, and just how life grows. And that's about it. Really. Yeah.
So how are you finding uni?
It is hard.
Challenging. Yeah.
It is. It's a lot, but I know that it's going to be worth it in the end. And yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you.
What about you, Missy?
Well, I came on TikTok to be on the retail side, the seller side, initially. That's why I signed up for TikTok, just to have like a side business, kind of a side hustle, quote unquote. But like Karita, we are aligned with that. I just graduated this past July, my education degree.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But my passion is to initially just come on because I have such a love for creating content. I have a love of contact for photography, and and it's
looking for a photographer for Black Excellence.
It's kind of no niche, you know. It's a bit of where I am in life. There's a bit of everything going on. Yeah, and I try to laugh at my pain as well. I'm here to like share some, be vulnerable, connect with people.
Yeah.
So yeah, and eventually that's gonna come with some form of monetization. Then that's a plus too, right?
Yeah.
But I am literally also interested in. I'm in talks with one of my good friends in starting our own podcast as well.
Okay.
So I wasn't sure that I was actually coming on here today to do this. I thought I was going to be a viewer to observe, but I'm happy to be here. Yeah, but I'm happy to be here. And like,
you just said I got my notes.
I got my notes.
I got my notes.
This is a podcast that you could take notes on. To be fair, it's very reckless. It's
reckless.
No, it is. We speak our minds. There's no filter. So depending on the direction that you want your podcast to go in, ours might not be the best one to take notes off of. Because we're open, we're honest, and we like, how can we explain it? We just go against the grain, not on purpose, but if we've got an unpopular opinion, we're going to share it irregardless. You know what I mean? And sometimes that offends. So, good night, Mama.
But it's because I just wanted to add to what you said. It's because you're going against the grain will eventually lead you to some form of success.
Yeah.
You know, because if you're doing what everybody else is doing, there's no some individuality in that. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Just a shout out to the people who are watching live at the moment that I can see, and a shout out to our moderator Charlene. Hope you feel better, sugar, and we miss you already. But yeah, going back to what you were saying, Missy, I think with us, we've got like a Facebook group, So we put topics in the Facebook group, and they're very much a part. I think they are the heart of No Bravado, to be fair. We've got about 1,800 members, and we put topics in the group, and they all share their opinions. We have some pearl clutches in the group, and I'm like, I don't understand why you're still here if you're going to be clutching your pearls, because you know what time it is with this group. They're very unfiltered. They say what they mean, and they post controversial things in the group for everybody to debate. So it gets interesting at times. It gets very interesting, which you will see once we go through some of the posts and comments that they have left in the group. And then it will be a chance for you to give us your opinions on it as well. So, all right, let's start with our first topic. I'm going to share the screen.
And feel free to share it out, guys. I think I sent the link in the group. So if you want to
send it to WhatsApp to anybody.
Can I do that now as I'm on here? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can view it on another phone.
Okay. Oh.
Because I'm doing this on my laptop.
So yeah, you can just send it out to people. Missy's gone sideways now.
Oh.
I think it's
What did I do? It made me jump. Okay, there we go. I'm back. Sorry.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so let me share my screen. This is the first topic of conversation. I want to hear what you guys think about this. Let's have a look. Share. Can you see my screen?
Oh.
Can you see it?
Oh, my eyes are so bad.
Yeah, okay, you can.
Yeah, it says
very close.
You should be able to hear it. So I'm going to
apologize.
Heinz has had to apologize after facing backlash for his tube ad. It's been criticized for erasing black fathers. The ad promotes family-sized pasta sauces but shows the bride a black woman with no dad. Heinz promised to listen, learn, and improve.
I have to laugh. It's like Heinz has got the big advert up, yeah? So you've got the bride, black bride, white man, black mum, but no dad. And they're saying that it's perpetuated.
His mum and
the
dad.
groom's got his mum and his dad, but the black woman's got no dad. Now, what are your thoughts on this? I'm laughing because, oh my God, part of it is so true, but at the same time, it's such a harmful stereotype. So, where do we go? What do you think?
I definitely think it's a harmful stereotype to like polarizing it on another such a big platform. Is this a recent advert, by the way?
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
That's diabolical.
I am
Excuse
shocked.
my French, but that is diabolical. I thought I also heard was there a missing plate for the quote-unquote black bride. Yeah.
What?
Apparently there was a missing plate. Everyone had plates in front of them, and then the bride didn't have a plate.
Yeah.
I just felt like what they're portraying over there.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think sometimes people do things very thoughtlessly.
Yeah.
Very, very thoughtlessly. And no, I'm shocked. I'm actually shocked.
Korea, in this day and age. In this day and age where we have to remember pronouns.
Yeah.
You're telling me you can't see the obvious? Come on now.
That part.
Yeah.
I mean, but I thought it's still thoughtless. It's
diabolical.
It is. It is.
You're a big company. You need to let someone else review your commercials before you.
Yeah. Everyone has comms, don't they? How did comms let that go out?
Wait. If we look at this on another angle, right? Maybe it could be seen as some sort of inclusivity to show that children of single parents can also get married. I don't know. I'm just being
throwing it out. Unpopular opinion from me. Unpopular opinion from me. I clutched my pearls. The racism in this country is ridiculous. It's wild. It's passive aggressive. It's they've got the cheek to make out like you are crazy when you point things out. But the amount of women that I am hearing are single mums, is it that displaced? But it's not that. I think the reason why it is such an uproar is because it's not just black women who are single mums. There are white women who are single mums. There are Greek women who are single mums. But it seems like it's highlighted more in our community. Do you think that's what it is? Or do you think it's just reflecting what actually is happening in society, that dads are not as present as they should be across the board?
But I think even if the opinion, to be fair, I'm a black female. I've been raised by a black family. Predominantly a mixed area, but most of my friends have been black or whatever. What I'm around, I've got white friends, of course. So I don't know what goes on in what a lot of communities keep themselves to themselves. Do you get what I'm saying? So you kind of know what's going on in your community wholly. You might see the odd stereotype from another community, but what I feel like is, I don't know what they're doing over there, but I do know that you keep putting out to the world certain stereotypes about us that you don't put out about
anybody else.
Why are there not constant adverts about football geezers, these white geezers that go around and they're thugs and they're this and they're that? There's loads of different stereotypes for different races, and they're never pushed. Only our stereotypes are pushed. So whether they're true or not, why is it our fault that we're always up for public scrutiny and are always platformed, and everyone else gets to deal with theirs in their own communities?
That's true.
Yeah.
But can I say,
wicked point,
part of it could be to do with us as well.
100%.
How we let things play out, whether it's on social media or not, or just people finding out about what is going on within our community. I feel like that's a part to play.
Elaborate a bit more.
I feel like in the sense of, do you know what? Maybe I'm actually wrong. I'm thinking about it.
No,
but I
don't think you are. I think you've got a point.
I feel like it's highlighted because, let's say, for example, a known like stigma that would be, for example, gun and knife crime. You'd more see it in the black and ethnic minority communities, but it would be mainly black boys that you see. And because of that statistic, it would be seen as that. But even when you take that, that's not necessarily the case, because there are other communities where their young people are taking part in these things. It's like Nat said, it's just us being highlighted. So I don't know. I feel like it's just something that has happened over time, and I don't know what we're going to have to do to have it changed, or is it a thing that can change? I wonder.
Yeah, and I want to add to that as well is like every culture or race has their own harmful stereotypes. They're just not being polarized as much as when it comes to the black and brown, more so the black, you know?
Yeah.
Right. But going back to what you said, Karita, sorry.
Yeah.
Going back to what you said, Karita, I feel like, let me choose my words carefully. I think based on little bits that you were saying is that we are more lenient up until now. I think we're speaking a lot now, but we are a lot more lenient. Like the Jewish community, let me just be frank, because that's just the best way to be. The Jewish community do not have a bar, to the point where even me saying this could be deemed as anti-Semitic. They just don't have a bar. Whereas I think that jokes can be made about our community and you'll find black men or black women laughing along with it. Yeah. So the more we allow this to happen is the more that it just will. Yeah. You know, I think there is some responsibility for us to pull it up on every occasion. Let's add Jigga to the stage. Hi, Jigs.
Hi, guys.
Hey, good evening.
Natalie, introduce your guests.
Hi, guys. This is Karita.
Hello.
So here, this is Gary G. This is Missy.
You know you're pointing at Trisha, yeah?
You're pointing at me, yeah. The way she's pointing, because it's doing. When you was pointing,
it looks the other way to me, but okay.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay.
These
No, the
beautiful
other way.
ladies are joining
That's your
us.
co-host.
These beautiful ladies are joining us from Natalie's TikTok community, so we're happy to have them, and hopefully they'll be back. So what we're discussing, Gal, I don't know if you've seen it. Let me see if I can pull it up again, because I kind of just shut it down.
Can I just say this? You see the girl that was the newsreader?
Yeah.
I genuinely struggled to decipher some of what
she was saying.
She was saying.
It was the accent.
It was hard.
It was harsh.
It was hard work. I can't lie.
Sorry, before we play, what accent is it? May I say? Ask.
I don't know.
You don't know. You
I genuinely don't know. I can't remember.
I thought it sounded AI-ish.
It did.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the image made me a bit dizzy as well. I wasn't sure what I was seeing.
It's probably AI.
The velocity.
Oh no, she has got a plate looking at it. But all right, let me share my screen again. Let's just show this one more time and see what you think. Share screen. All right, Gal, can you see it?
Yeah. Looks like Theresa May.
Had to apologize for facing backlash for this tube ad. It's been criticized for erasing black fathers. The ad promotes family-sized pasta sauces but shows the bride a black woman with no dad. Heinz promised to listen, learn, and improve.
I'm sorry, I don't know why it just makes me laugh. I think it's the way she says it.
Yeah.
It shows the bride with no dad.
But that shows me that as a company, you're not even hiring inclusively, because why don't you know that as a big company? Yeah.
I missed all of it. Sorry, I actually didn't hear exactly what you did. What actually happened? What's the scenario?
Exactly.
Heinz have put up a tube ad, yeah. So you know the ads that are on the platforms,
yeah.
And it's promoting their new bolognese sauce. It's promoting the fact that she's marrying a white man, black woman marrying a white man sitting next to her, and her mum sitting next to white husband, and his parents is sitting next to her, but parents being the operative word. Okay. So mum and dad, who is white, is there. So they're basically getting criticized for erasing black fathers and basically saying that.
Okay.
You're saying that black women don't have black fathers. Why is there not a black father at the table as well?
I don't. You know, I haven't seen the ad, so that sounded really AI generated. So have you seen the ad? Has anyone seen the ad, or is it?
Yeah, that's the ad. It's just a picture of the bride at the head table.
They showed it on the tube. Sorry, babe. They showed it on the tube.
You've been on the tube and seen it?
I
haven't seen it, but there's been a lot of backlash online for it.
I've got a random question.
Go ahead.
This might sound really ditzy, but do people really eat spaghetti bolognese at a wedding?
Let me not say what I was going to say, but it just depends on who you're marrying, I guess.
If you're Italian.
Yeah,
maybe.
You shouldn't have been married an Italian man, but would they be doing their spaghetti bolognese out of a jar? Yeah, do you know
That's what I'm thinking. Heinz as well?
Big Heinz. Evening, Paulette.
Do you know Heinz used to get like lots of kudos for all the adverts. That their marketing campaigns, they were like the first people to do marketing campaigns. The whole before everyone else was doing in the 50s, they started doing all marketing. So you thought their man would have been skilled at this by now.
Yeah, but we're saying that. Do you think it's an outrage that they didn't include a black father, or it's just perpetuating negative stereotypes? Do you believe that?
It probably is, but I'm going to be really honest. I probably wouldn't even have, and it's going to sound really bad, I probably wouldn't even notice. I'll probably see that I kept it moving, because I'm not going to buy Heinz bolognese sauce, so I'm not the target audience. So if you're the target audience, you may take attention. like lots of people say to me, "Oh, did you see someone advert?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, I didn't even take it in.
Yeah.
So I don't. And don't get me wrong, I know advertising is really kind of subtle, and it does it really, and it's really like they've done their
and that's
thing.
what the problem is.
And I suppose if you're not I always say this story of that. I could always remember my daughter was about, when they're at that age where they just can talk but they can't talk properly, and it's like they could put certain words together but not really. I remember I was driving from north to south London, and she saw a golden M and said, "Daddy, hungry."
Oh, McDonald's.
Yeah.
It was like literally.
Program.
And so that's when I realized how powerful like things are.
Yeah.
Right.
But as I said, it's not aimed at me. I probably wouldn't even seen the advert, looked at it. But if you're gonna dig deep into something, it probably there is some sort of message in there. Definitely gonna be some message in there.
There is. All right. Before we move on, this is what Christopher Savage had to say about it. Hang on, let me share my screen. Black outrage be like.
Yeah.
Heinz has had to apologize after facing backlash for this tube.
But I think that's part of the problem because our outrage is really short-lived.
Yeah.
Really short-lived.
That's true.
Very
That's
short-lived.
true. Because when I think about it, I don't think I could eat any other baked beans but Heinz.
No.
Yeah.
And the sauces have to be Heinz as well. The
I
tomato ketchup
don't know
has to
about
be
the
Heinz.
bolognese
The
sauce.
cream
No,
has to be Heinz.
Yeah.
Ketchup and mayo. Sorry, I'm forgetting.
Ketchup, salad cream, mayo, all has to be Heinz because there is a difference in taste. I don't care what no one has to say. There is.
Yeah.
But do you think this is the reason why we are continuously targeted? Because we do not take things seriously enough.
Yeah.
I think
Go on.
I was going to say, I feel like from even just realizing that fact about the sauces and the beans, it's like we're definitely their main target consumers.
Yeah.
To an extent.
I don't necessarily think we are. I tell you who their main target consumers is: pitney children. Because like you can't give my daughter anything without a little Heinz tomato sauce on it. I bought that daddy thing, and she wasn't having none of it, having a bar of it.
Yeah,
it's Heinz. So I would eat different things, but boy, see the children, they market at children. Heinz. So. And all that is, it's probably because it's sweeter than all the other.
It's got a bag of sugar.
Yeah,
a lot of sugar in it.
Yeah, so that's what it probably is. The market, the sugar to tomato ratio is probably high. But again, like most people I know wouldn't be eating bolognese sauce. So who are they trying to target with the advertising?
I think putting the black female in there anyway was performative allyship. Every single brand since 2020 has to have some form of black person in their advertising, their branding, or their marketing because of what happened since George Floyd anyway. So if you notice, so it's all very performative. So sometimes they stick. Have you seen that advert? Yeah, it annoys me because sometimes the family dynamic don't even make sense. They'll stick a whole bunch of black people together that look nothing alike, nothing similar. They've just, as long as they're black, they'll put them and make
that will do.
Do you get what I'm saying? One can look like Gary, one can look like Karita, and they'll say they're twins just because they're black. Like they do a lot of stupidness in advertising. It's nothing that's well thought out. It's all performative. It's all token. It's all to say that they're being inclusive. They're adding black people in, but they're not thinking about it. They'll have a black mixed race girl in there that's fully black. What do you mean? Lupita. and say she's mixed race. Her mum's black and her dad's white. They do stupid shit like that in adverts. I don't think they think these things out. I think as long as they've got a black person in the advert, then they've done their due diligence and they've done their bit for inclusivity, and they look like an inclusive brand, and they're staying on trend, and they've performed their little performative allyship, and they've done what they need to do. But if you actually look at these adverts, and when they are showing you black families or the token black person in there, a lot of the time it don't make sense.
Yeah.
It don't make sense. So you can tell it's nothing that's well thought out. They're just ticking boxes.
Yeah. I don't know. We've got a long way to go before that inclusivity is understood in Britain, I think.
But I mean, see, I'm not to defend them. But if I was working, no, give me a chance now. Give me a chance. But if you're an advertiser, you're trying to do branding or trying to do something, right? And you've got somebody who kind of works with the camera, and then you've got someone else who works with the camera. I ain't gonna find two people that look quite similar together to work with the camera. We ain't got time for that. So probably
that's what the casting process is for. That's what agents. There's millions of black people that are on different casting agents.
Yeah.
Like we're such a diverse set of people. You can get a black family that look like they're a black family, not like a black family that look like it's like chalk and cheese. Like it doesn't make. They don't think about what they're doing. They just stick it. They just kind of stick them in and just throw everything into the folk and said, well, make it make sense. They're black in it.
They all look alike. They're all the same.
Oh, y'all look alike.
Can I ask? Do you think it might be a British thing? Because I noticed that, a lot of American films, they do find black people that look similar, and they do find. Do you get what I mean? That the casting do, but I just think it might just be a British thing as well, possibly.
I think there's a lot more black influence in the US as well.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot more black influence in the US, and they've got a lot more of those roles, and they play a lot more of those roles as casting directors, as head of this, as chief of this. Black people have a lot more thingy roles in America where they can control the narrative or do certain things, especially within the entertainment industry. They kind of take over for the most part. So I think you're able to kind of look at Tyler Perry, look at the different, do you know what I mean? Like just the different things that we don't really have like that here.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah.
Charlene Jeffrey says, why can't we be seen positively? They know what they're doing. They're taking the piss.
They are. We'll come back.
They are.
We agree, Charlene. We agree. All right, next topic. Let me share my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
All right. So the topic is, this was inboxed to us. Person asked to be kept anonymous, but their opinion is that men trap women with babies more than women trap men with babies. Let's talk about it. What do you think?
It's an interesting topic. Missy, what do you think?
Yeah.
That's if it's statistically, is this backed with numbers? Or is this someone's personal opinion?
It's someone's opinion that actually, they're always talking about women who are trying to, what is that, a joke, says Patrick. There's women that are accused, or, a lot of the baby is not yours, it's women doing it to men, isn't it? But it's not often spoken about that men use kids as weapons as well. So no, I wouldn't say it's
entrapment. No, entrapment. Try to entrap women by having babies with them, you're saying?
Yeah.
I disagree, but that's because I'm a guy.
I was gonna say.
No, I agree.
I think, to be honest with you, I think, and this is gonna be quite controversial. I think most guys probably don't want children. Like, unless you're their proper partner, they're not interested. If you have a baby with a person that you don't really like, they don't want to do it. It's not like it's usually people that you like. Most people, obviously you're gonna get man like Nick Cannon, and man there's a ghost with beer. That's the different thing. But on the day to day, yeah, I disagree. I don't know if Patrick's disagreeing with me or disagreeing with.
I think he's 100% disagreeing that men use kids as entrapment.
I think about 60-70% of guys I know probably wouldn't have had children with the people they had children with if they had a choice in the matter. They'd be like, it's just about, oh, I'm pregnant. Okay, it is what it is, isn't it? How much people I know, people said, oh, I'm pregnant, I'm keeping it.
I think I'd say some men trap women with babies, not all men, and not a majority. I just think it's a certain minority of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it goes kind of both ways, and in both cases, there's something definitely toxic or wrong, because the thing to add another whole human into a situation to trap another situation. Anyways, I don't want to go into that direction. I want to go back to the topic. Yes, there's definitely groups of men that do that, and I feel like I'm not a psychologist, so I'm not diagnosing anyone, but I feel like particularly the men that are abusive and narcissistic. Right? I feel like that is a great route for men that have those type of traits. That's a great route to find either a very successful woman, that has all of her life together, and that's a challenge, or they're really deep with their trades and they look for a vulnerable woman. That way their mission is easier, right? So for a man to trap a woman or entrap a woman with a child, there's a power struggle, and there's some traits that are in you that you're not mentally fully stable. Again, I'm not a psychologist, but what I'm saying is something is not ticking right for you to think, I'm going to create a human being so I can make her sit down. That doesn't make sense to me. You know?
Okay.
I really want to find, because maybe I'm meeting the wrong women. I don't find all these weak girls that have got all hard, but I meet people like Natalie, mad people that are going to beat you up if you're doing it wrong.
Wow. That's not bad.
Before you eat him, Natalie. Wow. Good evening, Quincy.
Wow. Think of her earrings already. Look.
Yeah.
No,
evening, Quincy.
You all right?
You all right, love?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'll just pop in for about 20 minutes, half an hour, because I've got to do some more paperwork. But yeah, I heard entrapment, so I said, "Oh, well, jump on."
Let us introduce you to Missy and Karita. These are Natalie's TikTok community. They've joined us on No Bravado today, so we're happy to have them. The topic that we're discussing, Natalie, I don't know if you heard it, is that men trap women with babies just as much as women are accused
of
doing it. What's your opinion on it, Nat?
I definitely think it's a thing. It's definitely a thing. I think it's very widely spoken about with, women do this and women do that and women, but men do it. Men do it, it happens, but it plays out in different ways. A man will actually sit there and tell you, you got my kids, that's it. It's curtains for you. Like, he will actually sit there and say that with his chest. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so there are definitely guys that do that and think that once you have their baby, that's it. And that they've got control of you for the rest of your life, what happens, like who you can talk to, who you can... But obviously there's women like that, but I think it's only the women that are emphasised where it does happen with men. 100% there are men that do that.
Quince?
Okay. I've been trapped all of my children's mum
Stop it.
Every single 15 of them. No, I'm joking.
Not 15. Lord.
No, do you know, I on a real, I know some guys, and I'll put it out there, yardies, right? They
not just yardie.
the ones I know, the yardies. Listen, all they've done to get that passport, they've entrapped that woman. They've got her pregnant.
Got the passport.
You got baby. Don't give you the right to remain.
Huh?
Don't give you the right to remain. You've got a baby.
It takes about 10 years.
Yeah, well, that's the mentality. They think that because they get a baby, they can get time to come over and all that kind of stuff. Can't come back. No. Guys do it. And it's a form of, they will always be, not for much of the passport, but they will always be in that woman's life. So they will always know what that woman's doing. Even if they break up, it's like you are a part of my life. And especially if it's a man who's like got a little reputation and stuff like that, is controlling. Yeah, that's why I tell women, like, make sure you recognize the red flags and recognize the tone of the reds before you even do the shabbating or before the next man welcome. Don't bother with that.
Don't open your foot to next man welcome.
I've got a question for you lot, because this question has come up to me.
It's so stupid. I can't.
He's stupid. Look at his stupid face.
No, Mrs. Bayfather just literally called us when she's come off. Look.
Oh, stop it. No, this was me yesterday.
Was that you yesterday? Oh God!
Did you see Gary? No, this is what you get. Did you see Mr. Loverman? Who watched Mr. Loverman?
No.
There's a bit in it when there's another person calling the phone, and I said it's that kind of thing. Who you talking to? It's nobody. Them kind of things. I know a few guys who literally, they think because they got a child with the woman. And I have to say to them, you don't own them. You don't own them. And they seem to think that their child's not going to get big, like it's going to have, like the child's going to be Benjamin Button. It gets older.
I don't think that's about the child. I think that's just about the guy in general, because I've got a couple girlfriends whose partners have been like that. One of them's actually in the paper at the moment for coercive behavior in the newspaper at the moment, police officer. And she sent me the clip because she said to me, he's really this, that, and the other. And I was like, whatever. And then 3 or 4 years later, she sent me a clip now of him doing someone, and he's been taken to court. So I think you don't have to have children. I think that's how certain people are.
You're right, but they still.
As a tool.
Yeah, the child is
when there's children involved. Unfortunately, I can tell you I've experienced it firsthand. I'm still dealing with it, and it does happen.
Take it as a compliment, young lady. Yeah, it's that good that the man don't want to let it go.
I mean, basically, you could say that.
He's like, listen, that turns man stupid, you know. That turns man. Listen, as Shabba says, pastor run out of church for the good oil. That turns man stupid.
What's with all the Shabba quotes today?
Mr. Loverman. Mr. Loverman.
Okay.
What's Mr. Loverman on?
Mr. Loverman, you watched yesterday the broke Black Mountain thing.
Yeah. I didn't watch it. I watched. Okay.
I didn't know nothing about it.
Wow, you're the only black person. That's what I thought you were talking about.
No. I was going to ask you guys a question, though, in relation to this. I was going to ask you guys a question in relation to this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, go on.
So this topic has come up a few times, just between friends, right? So the people say that guys use kids to trap women and women use kids to trap men. What do you think is more of a life sentence or more of a commitment? Marriage or children?
Right.
Because
Children.
Children, 100%.
When you say life sentence, in what sense?
Like, what locks you in more? What makes you more committed? Because
children.
If you have a marriage with no children, you can walk away from that marriage, but you can't walk away from your children unless.
Well, I don't know about that one.
Men do. Men
can.
Jeff Bezos.
Yes, it's very difficult for a lot of women to just say they're going to walk away from their kids. It's going to take a lot for a woman to walk away from their kids.
No, it's
wired like that.
Yeah.
There's and to a certain age, obviously, mothers don't let go for obviously because they've raised them and they've born in maternal stuff like that. But there comes a point you've got to say, all right, look, let go. Don't not let go as in love, but look, the child's 35 now. Like, let's have a life together.
At 35, I can agree. Yeah.
You'd be surprised that I've met some women, boy, and it's like, you know, can we spend some quality time? But my baby's, I need to find out his food. He's 42. The child's 42.
Not my baby, my 42-year-old baby.
He's my baby. I just let you know.
Baby, isn't it?
I don't go there with no young girls. I like mature pension women.
Crutches, yeah.
I like the ones here. My tin is a post office queue.
Good night, Quincy. I can't with you. All right, so let's see what some of our crew said. Hang on. Charlene agreed. Dion said, okay, someone explain this to me because I'm confused. And then I think we did go on to explain it to her. That's a trap where the door swings both ways. Surely sad that after that act, some sweet love in the beauty of life can be used as a trap, says T Smooth. It happens. Devon says, I think you're wrong there. I think you're wrong there, as it's women's choice. She has a baby or not. Please remember, 85% of children born in this world are not planned. Size Nicholas said, absolutely rubbish. All women have the option of birth control. A man cannot have a child without a woman's consent. A woman can stop a man from having a child.
Do you know how many women have caught men snipping off the condom and stuff like that? There's actually a law against it. There's actually, to the point, there's a law against it. And
then some women don't find out they're pregnant until way further down, and they don't have that choice. And some women just don't believe in that. And what I don't understand is why people put the blame on the woman for basically not getting rid of a child. To me, that makes no sense. Rather than if you were being responsible, the way I see it as the act of intercourse is for procreation. So if you want to use it as a fun tool, deal with the responsibilities. No?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Ian Bowman said, not saying too much on this one. I have a good relationship with my children's mother, but I will say women know what they are doing, especially if the man is financially stable or has very good prospects. All I would say to a man, be careful of women pushing 30 plus and they have no children.
Wow.
I don't believe in that though.
Why? What's wrong with them?
Yeah. So you can't have your own path. You've got to follow the message. Some women don't want children.
I'm one of them.
And they might be career-minded.
Don't want children. Some women can't have children. So I think that's a very dangerous thing to say. Yeah. Because some women can't have children and it's actively very painful for them.
Right. But you know our crew don't have no behave, and they're going to just say what they want and say. That's how they behave.
I don't think he means it that way. I think he means it more like if you're going to be having sex with someone and you don't want children and you're dating someone in their 30s, whatever, you should use.
And they want children. Be careful.
Yeah, you need to be careful. That's what I think he means.
Okay. No, I've heard the thing where people say if a woman's a certain age and she doesn't have children, something's wrong with her. We've seen that as well. So I thought it was another one of them comments.
No.
Okay, no. He's just saying that some women will be out to just keep your sperm when they get to a certain age.
They play stupid sometimes, but they're not. They're not.
Yeah. So hang on, Dion says, but we know that men's speech can be horny sweet when they're looking to bed a girl or woman, and some women are naive to the chat, so will believe the claptrap. As Charlene said, hope of being with the man sometimes makes common friends fly far. And then someone said, well, that's a high percentage, isn't it? Be careful, women over 30 with no children, really. This goes on for comments on top of comments. I won't read them all, but like everyone went back and forth. Colette said 100% it's a thing. Are people sitting here thinking that man wouldn't or does not do this? The reason why folk are thinking it's not possible is because women have no choice to terminate. Because women have the choice to terminate the pregnancy as opposed to the man. But we're looking at intention here. And there are men who do this so the woman can be held down at their beck and call. There was 9 replies to that. Someone's trying to get into the back room. Hang on. They have to wait a minute. They do. As I was dating a guy, why did he keep removing the rubber during the session on more than one occasion? Knock that one on the head. We're not doing that, sir. See?
That's sexual assault. You can get arrested for that.
Yeah,
that's a fault. That would be classed. Will it be classed as some form of rape?
Yeah,
rape.
That's what I said. There's a law against it.
Yeah, rape. If someone comes to my clinic and they says that to me, I say tell them they should be going to the police and getting and talk about rape or sexual assault. So it's all about consent,
right?
All about consent and stuff like that. Yeah. So it depends on how it is. But yeah, if we do it something intentional like that, make holes in condoms or all that stuff. I mean, I don't think it happens as much people say it happens. But taking off condoms or anything like that in the act of sex without consent is a crime.
Yeah, because it's non-consensual.
Yeah.
People, it does happen.
And do you know what? I can't work out why would the man think that the woman's not going to recognize the difference?
Some people don't.
What?
Some people don't. Some people don't. You think that all sex is the same? Some people.
Listen out for tones, mate. Listen out for tones.
Listen out for
the tone, mate. There's the condom tone and the non-condom tone. Long-term relationships know that. Listen out for the tones of the vibrations. If it's too sweet and the eyes roll back, you're taking it off.
No, go away.
Yeah.
Prepare yourself for the first. That's what I'm saying.
No, seriously, you can't. Most people can't tell, and some people can tell. Other people can't tell, and depends on what type of condom you use. If you're using stuff like a unique condom, you probably won't be able to tell.
Yeah, some of them are really thin, isn't it?
Yeah. So like got unique or one of those ones, you won't be able to tell.
You shut my mouth here.
I'm going to give you some unique condoms, Quincy, and tell me what you think.
Do you give away condoms in your clinic?
Mm-hmm.
Do they take them?
What do you mean?
I mean, do you give them to them, or do they come in? Do people still ask for condoms and that, or they go in the shop?
Well, David, when we go, we probably go through about, I'll say, 2,000 condoms a week.
A week?
Probably.
2,000 a week?
That is a lot.
It's not more. You think eight condoms in a packet? Usually 8 to 12 condoms in a packet.
I was talking to some young ladies on my show. I was up north, and this is no blemish on the northerners, but I would not like to be a young man right now, a young person in general right now, in this current dating scene, because the lack of sexual awareness and attitude towards sex. It's like there's STIs that they look like Wi-Fi passes. I've never heard of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they had what? And it's young people who are mistaking sex for comfort or some form of validation.
But did you
You
guys
think
do
it's
that
just
with
young
the young?
people?
But to be honest with you, it's like attachment issues. People got attachment issues and things like that. So they feel it's a bit like, I don't know. Oh, this would be more for the ladies. I don't know if you know a guy, or you got a friend, or you know a guy that has to touch you, because the only way you can communicate with women is kind of by touching them, or you can't just have a conversation. It's always touching and stroking, and that's how it works. Some people are like that, and they can't express themselves verbally or things. So it's all about kind of physical and that type of thing. So that's how some people work. And with lots of young people, or not even young people in a whole, their kind of emotional intelligence doesn't really let them get past some of these issues. So they struggle. And they use sex as a tool to show their emotions. And so instead of saying, baby, I love you, I care for you, or express it verbally, the only way they feel they can express it is physically.
Right.
A lot of young people
sexual.
And
So
it's
like,
not just young, it's old people as
Oh,
well.
that's everybody, yeah.
No, but
Like,
I was going to
there's
say.
this
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, go on, Missy.
No, there's this thing that I listened to this guy, and he was speaking on emotional intelligence, and he was saying that your emotional intelligence lies where your trauma is. So when you are describing someone that lack thereof of emotional intelligence, that means they have a lot of unresolved things.
Yeah.
And when you're an adult, and when you're a big age like us, you are responsible to become self-aware and work on these things, so you can have a healthy. I'm not saying necessarily attachments are a bad thing, but you can't be defined by your attachments, because if you let it define you, that means you are still defined by all the things that are unresolved about you. So I think me and Nat have spoken a lot about attachment styles, but you're not confined or defined by these. And as a big adult, you need to be able to work on these things. And it's not my responsibility now. If I meet someone the way you're describing it, that he expresses himself on a physical touch, and I'm new to you, and I'm a woman, that to me does not resonate to me.
So
Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's not my responsibility now. Now I can say, when you're new to me, I can say, you know what, this doesn't suit me. You know, we're not aligned on these things. But in reality, it's also not my job to try and figure out that this is you behave this way because of your attachment style. It's not my responsibility. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
what about if there's culturally, like Italians are very expressive, and they're not touchy in a flirty way, but they will greet a woman by physical a greeting or something like that. They do it to men as well.
No,
So
I think a greeting or certain cultures of types of greeting, saying hi and bye, it's different than you solely communicating by touch and then expressing it by having physical intercourse, because you can't communicate.
Oh yeah.
Well, do you understand what I mean? And if I meet someone like that, it's not my responsibility to be like, oh, maybe you need to work on your unresolved. No, you're a big man. You should know these things,
No, but
right?
you're saying you know these things, but lots of people don't know themselves and haven't given, and not, and even with myself, I probably don't know certain parts of myself. And so I think some people find it difficult, because with relationships, you're kind of, it's a bit like a job description, isn't it? I've got to prove to you that I'm this person that you like, but in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, I'm this person, and you kind of got to kind of sell yourself. And even though you try to be that the greatest you want to be, because at the end of the day, everyone's trying to sell themselves to their partner. I find something I like Trisha, and I'm like, yeah, Trisha, I'm the greatest person everyone. And in my mind, so it's like a prison for.
No, you don't have to prove yourself. You just have to like be yourself. And if that aligns with who you're being, that it's being themselves, then that's a mutual decision that you guys make.
But I think there's a lot of people that don't know themselves enough, and also don't have the awareness to understand that being, I don't know, I see it as overly sexual and so on, but being like that is not healthy. They don't understand that, and I think that's a lot to do with it can be to do with culture as well, and them just not being exposed to being like self-aware.
And we'd be surprised the amount of I don't speak from a male perspective who take their emotional intelligence from watching stuff from porn or movies. That's how they think, and especially if you're a man from a certain criteria. So if you've got money, you're used to girls just falling themselves at you. So when you come out of that comfort zone and you meet a woman who's like not like that, it's like you don't know what to do with yourself.
Yeah.
Hence, all power to him. Hence why young Philly's his situation's in now.
Right.
Oh, young Philly.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, it goes back to that thing of when I'm in culture, not talking jerk chicken. I'm talking. There's a culture of individuals who are used to just like a spoilt child, used to getting what they get because of their status, and then when they meet someone who's completely different, they don't know how to react. So sometimes you have to school them. Not like it depends how much you put in. You have to let them know that I ain't that person.
Boundaries.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. That. Yeah. Boundaries. You got to show them this. These are I ain't that person.
Mm.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think sometimes knowing yourself isn't a priority to people, especially when you're living the high life. You've got good things going for you, and you're go. You forget to take that time to know yourself, or you don't even take the time, or you don't even think about what you like or dislike, what your triggers are, the things that you do that could be upsetting. Self-awareness, you're just getting on with it, and then there'll be a point in life that humbles you, and that's when you'll have to think about all them things. I think there's a lot of people walking around dealing with other stuff, but not actually thinking about these things. People only really most of the time self-reflect when shit's hit the fan. So most people don't know themselves because they haven't gone through that yet, or some people go from one thing to the other. But there's a lot of people, no one's thinking about day to day, I want to get to know myself. You only really think about that. I've been there, been that person when I've been through shit. That's when I start doing all of that, thinking, oh my God, I need to understand this, and I need to But it's usually when something's triggered or something happens to you when you're older, or when you get to a certain point, that you start thinking about those things. So there are a lot of young people probably running around doing the most foolishness, but they're not thinking, I need to sit down and take time to understand myself or think about. You're not thinking about that until shit hits the fan.
Can I just add?
Something to think about. Yeah.
Especially when with social media nowadays, I feel like a lot of the young people, it's all about living this imagery lifestyle. And when they don't have a lot of responsibilities, for them it's just, okay, I'm going to work, making my money to go on lavish holidays and to do this and to do that. And they're not actually taking, like you said, they won't take the time out to self-reflect until something actually happens that will make them. So for example, I feel like I'm pretty sure after this young Philly situation, he's definitely going to self-reflect and think, oh, he can't behave like this in certain situations, or he won't behave like this in certain situations, especially because of how detrimental it's been towards his image. So,
and also opportunity. I think especially as guys, sometimes we get opportunities that we know we should not take. But it's opportunity, so you just think to yourself, you know what, it may not come round again, so I always take the opportunity.
Yeah.
And it's not a case of some things I may not want to necessarily have to do it, but it's there. So you know what? Why not?
Do you know what are we talking about specifically?
Everything.
You shouldn't really, but you take it anyway. Is that what you're saying?
Not different things. I could always remember. So most of you know that I don't drink or smoke. I can remember, for example, I was in New York one year. I met this guy from London. I've known him for years, but hadn't seen him for years. Went to New York. Said, yo, he saw me on the street and we're talking. He was having a great time. Yeah, come back to my yard. And he brought out some big spliffs and he said, oh, do you want some? And I don't smoke weed. And I was going to take it because the opportunity was there. I don't smoke weed. I've never smoked weed. I've not, and I can't remember how I got out of it, but I was that close for and it's something I would never do normally.
But that's because you was in a different environment, in a different country, and then we all do have a slight different persona when we're abroad.
Yeah, so I said. So same thing. It's same thing with girls. If I'm out, if I was out places, I'm on holiday. I mean, what happens in this country stays in this country type thing. And like, if I was in London, I probably wouldn't do half the things I would do if I was abroad, just because the opportunity has arisen. And sometimes, I mean, it's about self-control. And sometimes when I was younger, I had less self-control than I do now, because I know myself now. Yeah?
Right. Has anybody on this screen been told by their parents how to connect with self?
No. Apart from read the Bible.
Apart from read the Bible.
Yeah. Pray.
That's definitely one of them.
So no one actually been taught it.
No, the only thing my mum taught me was, show me who your friends are, I show you who you are. So make sure you choose your friends right.
Yeah. I've had too much friend ain't too good for you. Too much friend. You got too much friend ain't too. I start to hear that all the time.
Yeah, they're right though.
100%.
Yeah, 100% right. Friend thing, boy. It's
not curse to me. I think you got a curse on me. Because after friend, or I thought we're friends. Like,
just not. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't necessarily. I definitely never not been taught anything. But as a child, I could see like the tenacity in my mum, the drive that she had to want it more and better. So maybe that was still a window of her.
Absolutely.
But it wasn't something that she was able to reflect on herself and able to educate. Because if we're talking about our parents, the older generation, it's just whatever they got, the way they got raised, they passed it on to their own kids. And I feel like we are changing that.
Our generation.
I agree with that. Our parents' generation, their objective was to feed, clothe, and pay those bills.
Literally.
Survival. Yeah. They love through survival mechanisms.
What really lacked is like that, like core attention on your emotional development as an early child. In your younger adolescence, your brain is developing. Your early years to have key focus. I don't know if everyone's parents here. I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so 0 to 7, those are the key early years of where your child is really like developing most of his environment and senses and has an understanding of what's going on, you know? So for you to be neglectful, fair play, they didn't know better, but to be neglectful on your child's emotional development has an effect on the growth of your child potentially as an adult, as a teenager, you know? It limits you some in a way.
I mean, I get the same thing with like, one good thing about my mum and stuff. People always say to me about my work, about working, and I don't take time off sick, and I'm always working. And I said, oh, I don't feel well. And then because in my job, I have to get sit down with psychologists like once a month and sit down and and they dug into it. And the reason being is because when I was young, my mum had she used to work in a school Monday to Friday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and come on Sunday, she used to leave, come back from the school, cook food for me, and then go back at the house and work. She was a nurse and used to work in the hospital the whole night, come back. And that's what I grew up with. So my work, I'll go work all day, every day. That's because that's how I've been grown. That's kind of I've been shown. Work, you need to work, you need to work, you need to work.
Right.
So you kind of, once you get into that thing, so like I was saying to my oldest daughter about being about just like not working and stuff like that, and talking about being made redundant. And she said, "Oh, you know what, Dad? To me, I don't really care about redundancy because I see my mum was made redundant a few times, but a couple of months later she had a new job. So those things are never like she just think about it. But I'm like, oh, redundancy like is an issue, but it's not an issue because there's always jobs out there. So it's kind of your different mindset and how you've grown. And so I think from my perspective, you're emotionally, it probably wasn't the greatest, but kind of at work ethic wise, I can't knock it because that's kind of thing. So you pick up bits and pieces.
Yeah.
I think you can pick up bits and pieces, and I think it's important to cherish the good things that you get from your parents.
Sorry, I
And
just saw the comment. It was
Yeah,
just
that's you're
as
giving me the
well.
munchies because everyone's just munching away on the screen. Sorry, Karita, go ahead.
All right, yeah, I was saying it's important to cherish like the good things that we get from our parents, but I definitely think I definitely wasn't taught anything about self-awareness, and being an adult now, I come to realize that, especially being from a very strong African like background, I think what I've realized is I've become quite very self-aware, especially of the things that happened throughout my childhood and so on and so forth. And it's like when I bring it to my mum now, there is still the lack of self-awareness, and there's still like lack of accountability on certain things. And it's like I've come to the realization you can't I can't teach her how to understand these things. I can only do it for myself and for my children. And I think for me, it's been a very important thing as a young single mum to make sure that my children understand these things. And yeah,
what part of Africa are you from?
I'm Ghanaian.
So West African, yeah. So would you say that as a girl child, Ghanaian girl child, the boys get away with more than? So you've had to like there's this pigeonhole like African girls or Ghanaian girls have had to accept things what the men do, the boys do.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's like in the Ghanaian culture, right? So let's just say a man and a woman are married, right? And they're having some type of marital issues. You're not going to a counselor, you're not going to a marriage therapist, you're going to elder family members. But the woman cannot go and speak to her husband's dad on her own. She has to go and speak to the husband's mum, who will then take it to the dad, who will then put together a group meeting. It's very like, even down to, for example, when I had a naming ceremony for my son when he was born, and because I wasn't married to my child's father, I wasn't allowed to be in the room during the ceremony.
What?
Yes.
Oh,
Did you? Is your children's dad Ghanaian as well?
Yes.
Same tribe?
No, opposite tribe.
So is this like a cultural
tribe? So my tribe are a lot more. They're not. Well, my family are not as lenient on traditions when they want to be. When it serves them, to be fair. But yeah, like with his tribe, they're a lot more lenient. They don't really mind. They don't like. We had to do the naming ceremony exactly 7 days later. Some people wait for 40 days, X, Y, and Z. But the point of the matter is, like, in an Africa, or in a lot of our tradition, a woman can't just go and speak to a man just like that. And what the man says is what goes. So I feel like the boys are grown up with this perception that a woman is supposed to cook and clean, look after the household, but she's also supposed to go and work in the market, bring home the money, and cook after a long day in the market too. Make sure she completely serves her husband and don't ask no questions. And yeah, just accept what he gives you.
That is similar to the Indian.
I think.
It's similar to the Indian culture, and a lot of us knock it, yeah. But it is give and take. And this is why I asked you about how we accept things, and we're from the majority of us, or everybody of us on this panel right now, we've had to learn emotional intelligence, where our parents, I can't speak for all parents, our parents, but accepted this is how your father is. This is how, as the mum, this is how it accepted. Like my grandmother accepted what my granddad was like. When my mum's the eldest of 16, you know what I mean? So it's like her main priority. He's got to bring that bread. As long as the children are fed, bring that bread home.
Yeah, that's it, literally. But I think it's just a bit confused now, especially for me as a person that I am Ghanaian, but I was born in the UK. I've been partially brought up in Africa, but then came back to the UK. I just believe that once you decide that you're going to leave your home country and go to a Western society, I feel like there are some things that need to be let go and some things that you have to understand you can't bring them into the Western society necessarily. So that's where I believe that the self-awareness is needed. Recently, I saw a post on Instagram and it was like a Ghanaian girl who had filmed a child who had been beaten by their mother because the child lost some money. This is a child that was definitely under 3 years old, and it was really, really bad. And when
How
she,
does an under 3-year-old lose money? What's the how can you have money? You don't have money that you do.
I think it was something really, really small. I think it was like 5 cedis or 10 cedis, which is probably pennies to us. I can't even convert it for you. It's ridiculous. But obviously, the mother was angry. She beat the child. He had like some really bad like lash marks on the side of his face. And the woman had filmed it to state she was in shock and she was disgusted that the mother could do this. And she posted it on social media, and it was kind of like we've got to the point where this is abuse now. And it was like people were saying like, finally someone is accepting that this is wrong, whereas 10 years ago this was normal. But there are people that have been locked up or gone to prison, say for example they've come from Africa and they brought some of their cultural things that they do, for example like putting ginger or Scotch bonnet in a child's do you understand? And those in their world that would be acceptable in Ghana maybe 10-15 years ago, but it is not, because it is harmful to the child.
I always remember when I was at school, I went to an Irish school, Catholic school. So there was 3 black kids in my school. Me, another guy, and another guy, and the other guy. One of the guys was Nigerian, and we used to all 3 used to compare beatings. And no disrespect.
Trauma bond.
No, that's the reality. No,
trauma bond.
I'm the same. It was
like literally his beating was like, I remember he's told me how his mum used to put pepper in his eye. Like
listen, you ain't lying. Listen.
She used to make him, cobbles. Remember the days where he had cobbles in the garden? So if he did something wrong, he would have to kneel on the cobbles for like 3 hours.
No way.
There's some seriously harsh punishment.
Even my mum was telling me that when she was younger, I love my grandmother, and I wouldn't think butter could melt in my grandmother's mouth. My grandmother was the greatest person. When my mum was telling me stories about how when she's in Jamaica, my grandmother put her in the rice sacks, the brown rice sacks.
Yeah.
Put her in a rice sack, tied her up, and then tied her up with chin. Like, what?
Oh, that is.
Gary's busting up. This is that Gary just laughs at the most.
You can't be laughing so seriously about this. No.
Sit back. And so when my mum differs to me, I'm like, if that's what you're learning, it's like, she could go on 25 to get Jack Bauer to talk. You know what I mean?
That just lets you know what we have picked up from that slave mentality.
From slavery, absolutely.
The psychology of that is deep.
Just about to say that. The traumatic sort of kind of lines of discipline that we taught, and it's operating from a source of trauma. So going back to something that Missy said earlier about some people should just be self-aware. Sometimes it's so mixed up in trauma mixed with love, because these same people will make sure that you eat and will protect you against the world, but will put you in a rice sack and hang you off the tree. It's nuts. So it's such a warped sense of love that our generation is really starting to break through now. And hopefully we're going to be teaching it to the youngers. I ain't got kids, but I've got good night to the panel. Sorry, that just thing. I haven't got kids, but I do have nieces and nephews. I do have Natalie's kids. There's kids around me that we can change the narrative. I mean, in some cases, like with how social services is here, I think they've removed a lot of power from the parents. Hence the reason things are the way that they are. But at the same time, I read today briefly that a father beat a 10-year-old to death because she was being naughty. So that's why it's like
Got to be done, yeah.
It's that balance, isn't
it?
it?
It was Asian child that story. I think I read that.
Yeah, I think it was an Asian child, but
yeah, he
regardless,
went to Pakistan. He went to
pretty little girl. No, she was here. It's here.
No, he did it here, and him and his
wife did it in Pakistan.
Pakistan, and then they got deported back to England.
Yeah, come your ass back here. Like, what are you doing? But pretty little girl, you beat her to death because she was naughty. So, you know what I mean? It's like...
That's the thing. As an adult, you can't trust yourself to lash out on a child. If you're that temperamental, if you're having that level of temperament or anger or aggression issues, you can't trust yourself around a child, because you could just see black and you start beating up this child. And then now this child is unalive. Now what?
Yeah.
So you shouldn't. Not only is it a bad thing, I don't agree with it, but you just shouldn't.
I do think that, I don't know, because I think for me, I got, like, you'll hear many people say, I got beat as a kid and it done me good. Do you know what I mean? Or it never done me no harm, or whatever the case may be. I just think, what is the balance with because sometimes a kid might need a little smack, but not beating them to death. Like, there's a difference between discipline and slave beating trauma. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, but it's difficult. Everyone got beaten. Not everyone. People got beaten. At the end of the day, from you use the word beating, it's abuse. It's a smack and there's beating. There's two different
things. Yeah,
you're saying me. You know, if I've got a slap, but if you're getting beaten, that's abuse, regardless. Your parents may want to deny it, or like, oh, have this memory where, no, I never did that. Lie, you did it. You just forget that you done the things.
I remember one time my dad beat me, and the joke thing was he cried before me. Yeah, he beat me. Yeah, and then he started, look what you make me do. You said I can't relate. Hang on a minute, you hit me. He cried.
Because he didn't want it, so you must have been really naughty.
I was bad. I deserved it. Look what you got me doing to you. I didn't mean to lash you with the bat.
With the bat. No, like the things that they used to, like, go and get your own belt. So go pick your belt for your punishment. So I've had to go and bring the belt that you know they're gonna lash you with. Like,
but when your sibling is asked to choose the item that you're going to be beaten,
I've heard that one before.
I think that one is dangerous, because it gives the child that's been told to choose the authority over the other child, and they grow with that.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. Like, I feel like the last person, someone just commented back home, wherever that may be, there was emotional, physical, psychological abuse. Our parents back home style did the best they could. However, it all has an effect in adult life. Funnily enough, like, I didn't experience so much physical abuse. I remember getting beaten a couple of times when I was really naughty, like when I got excluded from school or got found smoking, which I feel like was deserved to an extent. But I feel like it was the emotional abuse that has affected me more as an adult now, and the lack of the just being there emotionally at all. I think that's what has caused the detriment. And I feel like I'm only seeing it now because I have young children, and it's kind of connecting, and it's like, hold on, I need to be aware of their emotions. I can't just tell my kid off or shout at them and then expect them to just be smiling the next second. I have to understand that they have feelings too, and they're humans. So yes, apologize. My parents would never apologize. I'm sure most of us would say the same thing.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to the next topic before you guys have to run off, because I'm gonna conscious of our guests, because we could be on here for hours, so I don't want to keep you on here for hours. I'm conscious of that.
I'm gonna shoot off because I'm gonna sort some more stuff.
I wanted to hear your opinion on this one.
Oh, go on in quickly.
Quincy, stay away.
Just give me your opinion quickly before you go, and then you could go. Right, 1 minute. Share screen. Hang on. Not that one. This one. So this was another inbox that we received. It says, "Evening, sis, just sending this because I found it interesting and somewhat realistic to a degree. I've always thought when I meet someone new, I can't realistically be expecting them to have no one on the scene. So do I think to myself, I'm given a grace period, which is me before I go exclusive, which is to me, I don't know, which to me is before I go exclusive. Anyway, I wanted to share for the Facebook group, but I don't have Messenger. Please keep me anonymous. Bless Sunday." So there's a whole kind of series of this, but this was the first picture. So he's saying women have to stop expecting men to cut off multiple women that they are having sex with cold turkey just because you agree to become exclusive. So, like, to me, that's an oxymoron anyway.
Right.
Because exclusive means exclusive, right?
If you're in a monogamous relationship,
You got a 6 year. You got a 6 year gap though, innit? You got a 6 year grace gap, innit? 6 years.
6 years.
Before you become exclusive. So there's a period of time where you're talking to each other or seeing each other before you become exclusive.
Yes, 6 years.
Hence exclusive. It's wild.
He had a whole reasoning for it. He was saying that, you have to give a grace period. You have to allow, like, even if I've said that you're the one, you can't expect a man to just change up his behavioural patterns overnight. There to be a weaning off period, like drugs, even, if you like.
Sometimes I feel honestly men are given too much grace. Like, if you want to be exclusive with someone, then you need to drop out who you're dealing with. Why am I gonna be sitting there? And if that's the case, if you want that grace period to end whatever you've got over there, then you can't be intimate with me until you stop all of that. Then how about that?
And last talking to you, he's like, "Take care, bye."
And exactly, why would it be? See you later,
don't
take care,
stop
bye.
her off. Don't weasel out of it. Come on, give us your opinion.
All right. When you meet somebody, it should be you should be meeting someone with that sole person intention anyway. You shouldn't be having no hang-oners, a just-in-case period, nothing. You're talking to someone, you're talking to that person. So you're invested in that person, and that person's invested in you. Yeah, there shouldn't be. There's no subs. There's no. It's not like, oh, you know what? While this person's waiting, I'm gonna bring on Tuesday in the second half. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
Hold on, Chrissy. If you're
audacity. Sorry, go on.
If you're just say you're chatting to somebody and nothing's really going on, but it's there, but then you meet someone new in that time, you just say, "Oh, goodbye, number two." Number one, goodbye, I'm chatting to this person. You're not saying you'll be sleeping with both of them, but there's going to be some type of crossover. Going like there isn't.
Then you should tell the person. You should tell them. I would say, look,
that's girls and guys, not just girls. That's the same thing. I know girls who've kind of had two guys, not on the go, but they're talking to two people at the same time, and then they make a decision as you go along.
Yeah, that's confusing.
That is because in my definition, what I understand of you being exclusive with someone, especially if it's a monogamous situation, there was a build up to that, and even if you were in a dating period with this person, right? But by the time you've come to the decision to wanting to be exclusive with the person, be transparent. Say, I'm still hanging on to Leisha and Becky over here. Let me end that. If she's okay with that, cool. But it's all about the mutual agreement between the two people. Yeah. But be transparent about it. Don't come in with all your subs like he just referred them to, and try and make it look like to me that I'm the only person here. Just be transparent. Someone might even agree with that and be okay with that.
Sometimes
give the woman the option. No, but always give the woman the option. But
if you give people options, you know what happens, right? And people take liberties with options, yeah. And I've said this to people before. If you say to a girl, and it's not me, I'm just saying in general, yeah. If you said to a girl or a guy, yeah, I've got someone, I'm breaking it off with them. The person said, okay, yeah, you can break it off with them. What they will do is say, oh, she or he's okay with that. I'll keep this going. So so sometimes it needs to either be done, or and there's no kind of you don't be. If you're telling me you got someone else, you got someone else. That's it. So once you start telling people, oh yeah, this person's still around, then you kind of accept that and say, okay, I'll give you time to break up. It's a bit like when if you're seeing a married man or a married woman, and then I'm going to leave my husband, but they don't ever do it.
No, that's different. But you don't have to accept that. I said some women may agree with that, but if you're transparent, you're only gonna get yes or no, right? So be transparent, because there are some women that will tell you directly, no, I'm not interested in this. I'd like you to leave whatever you've got going on. If we're trying to be exclusive, keep it between me and you. But just be transparent about it. The problem is the deception.
Most women are going to say, you sort out your side of the street, and then let's talk. Most women who know themselves. Yeah. But the 4 ladies here, those ladies are going to say that. This is why we're friends.
Joker.
Bye.
Bye, Quincy.
Bye, Quincy.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye. Nice to meet you.
You take care, bye.
They're too funny. Bless him. All right, hang on. So this was the rest of what he had to say. Many men don't want to lose their roster, but fear losing their main. So they agree to monogamy knowing that they haven't had the time or done the work to adjust to the amount of and diversity of sex they have had with multiple women to just one energy and less frequency.
Wow.
A man's agreement to be monogamous doesn't change the behavior pattern. Just because he cuts off all his hoes, that's only the first step to the process. There then needs to be a buffer before the woman should expect his ability to be faithful to be solid.
Ooh.
Time and space offered for learning curve that comes with recalibration of his sexual energy, tendencies, and preferences. To be able to lock in on just one his lady's style, drive, and rhythm, there needs to be a season of him decreasing his sexual overstimulation and consumption. So he's basically saying it's like drugs. You have to wean yourself off of it.
Yeah.
A period of him also cleansing the energies of the multiple women he was sharing energy with. During his single season before he committed to you, men's sex drive will go 100 miles an hour for decades, and women tend to expect he can just stop on a dime and just be loyal to them. Even if he doesn't cheat, the energy of the behavioral pattern still being present within him will still make him feel her feel unsafe, insecure, and jealous, because women can often pick up on what's beneath our words and actions. Let's normalize men taking pre-relationship sabbaticals after a couple decides they want to be official partners, where he devotes himself to the mastery of his carnal desires before he's expected to know how to be sexually satisfied with one woman.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically what he's saying.
Sorry, no. It's a no from me.
Big fat no. All of that was like, no.
Basically, we're not doing that.
No, that's ridiculous. I feel like it's these kind of statements, and things that people put out there that gives men excuses that makes them think it's okay to have their cake and eat it. I'm sorry, but absolute bullshit. No.
To say that thing AI. That thing was definitely AI produced.
I don't even think AI would say that.
No,
AI is very intelligent,
Yeah, that's definitely AI produced.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, ridiculous.
Definite player. But the person who sent it in to me is a female and said that she understood, and it's kind of realistic to a point, because sometimes is it that we are just fooling ourselves? That has everybody on this screen been cheated on?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I can only speak for myself. The way I said yeah was so strong. Sorry.
Yeah. Missy, have you been cheated on?
Not that I'm aware of, but
Not that you're aware of.
Yeah, not to
Okay.
my knowledge. Let's just say that.
Okay.
But I can't hold what anyone else does. Like unless I know, I don't know, innit?
Right. Well, that's a first because everybody I know has been cheated on at some point. So, and then you think to yourself, well, because I hear what you're saying, Korea, I agree with you 100%. I think it's rubbish. And I spend a lot of time single and celibate, and it's about self-control, and you can do it. So, you know what I mean? Get out of here. You can. But is men's sexual drive different from a woman's? And is it, like, as the woman was saying, she basically said that she kind of found it realistic to a degree because get with the guy, be real about the possibilities of like potential slips in the beginning until you adjust. And that was more or less what she was saying to me.
It's like saying lower your standards and accept the bare minimum.
Yeah. And you know what? Like,
sorry, babe. It's the intention as well, going into monogamous situations and trying to be like you're in a polygamy or polyamorous relationship. Be upfront. You can have discipline, same way women can, but I don't know if statistically there's anything that proves that men have higher sex drive. That's what they say, right?
No, it's not
because
true.
there are women that have such high sex drive,
it's not true.
and they can cheat and do all sorts, but it's not accepted. It's not. There's no book that's going to tell you, yeah, a woman will cheat because she has a high sex drive. No, everything that it will say that a woman shouldn't cheat because she's a woman and she must behave like a lady and this and that and
wear receivers and all that bollocks.
Yeah, like it's BS.
But them days are over. Like really, from the sexual revolution, them days are over. I don't like, especially from now and like.
No, people are still out here talking about female body counts, Gary. You go and girls still out here measuring women by their body count,
and guys, and both. From especially when I flick through social media or even been in the clinic, like for example, all right. Person came into clinic yesterday. This is no word of a lie. On Monday, I was in clinic. I was doing clinic. Saw a woman, and we're talking about partners. I asked her how many partners. She said to me, "I don't know if I could tell you." I said to her about the last 3 months, and she literally said, "Oh, I can't remember." I said, "Just give me a figure." So I thought she was going to say maybe 25, 30. She said 300.
No way.
God, mercy on my soul. What?
300?
Yeah, so she's a sex worker. She's a sex worker.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, that makes sense, though.
You should have led with that.
No.
Yeah, you should have led with that.
Hold on. Think about it,
too idle. Because
think about it, girl. Think about this, right? So that's 90 days. So that's 3.4 people a day.
Oh, God have mercy.
Yeah. So even when you're looking at it like that, yeah.
That's
That's a lot of work.
So and yes. So I'm saying to you, yeah. I'm saying to you, you talk about sex drive, and I know it's a job setting, but then when you call other people, and I met other people that I work, and they've said 100 girls, 110, 3 months, depending if they've got an infection and kind of the traceback periods, 3 months, they 150, 110. So when people talk about sex drives, literally, maybe because I see this at work all day, there's no different.
There's no difference.
Literally no difference. It's all people trying to say that, oh, women there. And when I watch Instagram, I hear, what's your body count to girls? And girls are saying 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 all the time. Them days of like, oh, one person, two persons, die. Very unlikely.
Okay. So, okay.
You have to go though. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming
We're about to wrap up soon anyway. Charlie, Thanks for. Hopefully you'll come back, Missy.
Definitely. If you'll have me, I'll come back.
No, we'll definitely have you back.
All right, bye,
Take
ladies.
care, love.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, but Charlene said, I would disagree. I don't think women acknowledge that they have a high sex drive.
I think some women say it all the time.
Yeah.
I hear women say it all the time. I've got a really high sex drive, I can't lie. Yeah. Karita's like
Karita's in the corner like this. I love it.
I'm not even going to lie, but for me, it's if I'm seeing someone or I'm dating someone or whatever the situation is, if I'm intimate with that person, then my sex drive is going to be on 100 for that person. But I can't do the multiple. That's not for me.
It's just because I feel like energy is swirling around.
Yeah, it's the energies, and I feel like just the person knowing me and what I like, and me knowing them, X, Y, and Z. I just it's just not.
That's what it is.
Yeah. But I think women do. It's just that it's not common for women to say because it's like, ooh.
Yeah, everyone be clutching their pearls.
But I think, to be honest, I think like over the last say 6, 7, 8 years, it's being more common. Girls are saying it more. It's being more out there. It's not like before when in the 50s where you had to wear your long dresses or below your knee and all them things. Them days is over. You go down to any town centre on a Saturday evening. Yeah, skirt up to here. You know what I mean? That's hard.
It's true.
It is, but it ain't. I don't know. Just reading through some of the comments and stuff, like I said, there are still people out here talking about people's body count, and it's like we're still talking about the female's body count. No one wants community penis either. And stop coming with this. Oh, women are receivers and this, that, and the other. Like. The same way women receive is the same way we charge men. So men still need to be careful about where they're sticking, it's as simple as that. I don't want a guy that's got 10 girls on the go. Like, who wants that? No one wants that. But
how do you know?
I guess the reason the question struck me is, do you need to be realistic about crossovers when you're dating someone?
I think society's making it that we have to be realistic. If people were to behave how they should behave, it wouldn't be the case.
I think they can be realistic possibly before, but once we say we're exclusive, we're making a conscious effort together, mutual conscious effort to say, look, now, because you wouldn't need to say exclusive, we're exclusive now if you were being exclusive anyway. So you've now obviously had what you had going on, but now you're making a conscious effort to be exclusive. I think after that, don't tell me, like, no, like.
No.
After that time when we say exclusive, I'll be like, I said exclusive, motherfucker.
There's no such. It just doesn't make sense to say that you're exclusive and then, oh well, I need to wrap up things with this person. Once you've decided that you're exclusive, you must be exclusive.
You get to know someone, you meet someone, you don't go into something exclusive. You don't know them. You go in, you date. There's a whole process that you get to before you get there, I would think. So you've had your time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You've had your time to be dibbling and dabbling and dribbling and all of that. And hokey pokey.
Needless to say, our No Bravado massive agreed with that. Everyone was like, what kind of foolishness is this?
Bad.
6 years.
Yeah, like everyone get out of it. It's rubbish.
Someone that's for everyone. Like, are we doing that? Like, who wants
that? No one don't want someone that's for the streets, male or female.
Can I ask you a question? Because this, as young women, ladies on the stream. So I was watching something, and they were talking about a girl was talking to her friend and said her ex-man had big things and it was amazing. And then she went out and had sex with him just because she heard he had big things.
Right.
happens.
So yeah, it was like, yeah, oh yeah, boo, that. And I've heard people say, I mean, even some songs say, never talk about your man with your friends because that'll make them mad.
You got the
Guys
wrong
don't-
friend.
But guys don't really think that way. It's like, I've never heard the guy say, to his friend, her vagina was gushing and it was wicked, and then man think, oh, I gotta go in there and try a thing. Is that true for girls? I don't get it.
I think it's true for treacherous people across the board.
Yeah, literally.
Guys do it and girls do it.
Yeah.
I've never said
Guys do it. I've had my guy's friend sneakily more than once try to chat to me or come and tell me what the guy's doing, so that I will get vexed with him and break up with him. Guys, treacherous people, regardless of gender, behave like that. I think.
Definitely, I agree with that.
Yeah, men are treacherous and women are treacherous. And a lot of the times it's not even just about sex for women, it's about the way the guy's treating the woman. So sometimes it's like, he might have arranged a trip, or the woman's talking about how good the relationship is, and
I've seen that happen.
Seen it, experienced it. The woman just wants to go in there and take what you've got. It just is what it is. Do you know what I mean? So no, I think it's across. I think it's both. Mm-hmm. Should we do one more topic before we hop off, or are we going to hop off now?
And get what is it?
It's a quick one.
Is it? Yeah.
You want to hop off now, or should we do one more?
What one is it?
What, 7 minutes left? 7 minutes before 10 o'clock?
We've got 7 minutes until 10. We'll be finished by 10.
Let's do a quick 7-minute one then.
It will be finished by.
Yeah, I didn't know you look like quickies.
I don't.
So it's parents. Please stop sending your kids to school with the idea if someone hits you, you hit them back. You are a part of the problem. So Dr. Pepper Mum said, if my kid asks your kid to stop bullying him or someone else and they don't, my kid has full permission to rock your kid's shit.
I agree. Let me not agree too soon. So.
What are we saying on that one? Quick. 7-minute rounder. You agree?
Yeah.
Gary, do you agree?
You know what? It all depends on what you mean by rock it. Because sometimes, as like adults, we don't have self-control. So if some child bullying another child, and the other child goes mad and mash up their head and ends up in some mad something, violence isn't the answer. So try to work it out with it. Kind of works better. I understand the sentiment, but sometimes, as your mum and my mum and so everyone else's mum, two wrongs don't make a right. So you just can't jump in. I know the sentiment's there for me, but I'm just like, you know what? It just doesn't go. It doesn't go anywhere. And it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You know what I mean? Because someone will always say, "Oh, you overreacted. My son bullied you, but you overreacted by broken his mouth, broken his jaw."
Don't tell your son not to bully my son.
Yeah,
sorry. Do you know what my mum used to say to me all the time? Because believe it or not, I wasn't a bully. I was bullied severely growing up, and like my brothers used to say to me, we're not going to always be here to defend you. My mum used to say to me, you're going to have to hit back. You're going to have to meet them on their own, because if you don't, they keep coming and they keep coming and they keep coming. And now I was severely bullied up until I would say the age of 13, until I said enough. And then I had to take my mum's advice and fight back. Because they just keep coming. They, even as adults, they come for you as adults, and the only language that they understand is when you speak back and say, I'm not the one. Do you know what I mean? So if I had a child, I know for a fact, if I had a child, rock that child's shit. The same advice my mum gave to me, being a person who was bullied, and knowing that they don't stop until you stand up for yourself. Stand up for yourself. Rock that kid's shit. Sorry. Rock it.
I don't know. I feel like for me, it depends on the level of bullying and what it is. So, my son was, I would say, verbally bullied by someone that he sat next to in class, and it was constantly like just showing anger towards him, aggression, just being mean, kind of thing. And it was a female actually. And when he explained it to me and told me what happened, I told him to tell the teacher to move him seats because they don't choose where they sit, they're assigned by their teacher. So my answer to it is move seats because you're not going to school
You're not
to
going to
be.
go and tap up a gal.
Yeah, that's one. You're not going to go and get a girl. But two, she wasn't physical. If she was physical, it would be a different situation because me, I'm going to go and find the mother and we can work it out. I'm not going to let my son hit your daughter. But I think as well,
I'm going to hit you in front of your son.
Like that.
You got to get out of hand.
Exactly. It will get out of hand. I send my children to school to learn. So if something is happening in the classroom and the teacher is not keeping an eye on it, I believe that it's the child's responsibility to bring it to the attention of the teacher and let them call you a snitch. Let them call you whatever, but you are there to be educated, not to worry about this, that, and the third. And I feel like it's
totally agree.
Responsibilities.
Yeah, totally agree.
Davina said, next kid hits my child has full permission to thump that child back. I always told them, don't start anything, but if you find it, you finish it. Trade. Davina commands exactly, but start with thump for thump. Natalie, what you saying on this before we shoot off?
Come on. Come on. No. I think that if the child can't hear and the school, I'll always talk to the school first. I have. Yeah. But if nothing's being done about it, I said, make sure, put some boundaries in place. So whatever that looks like, different people need different boundaries. So that kid might just need one lick just to know, oh, actually.
Let me not do that again.
Fuck around and find out. So let me just leave him alone. I remember I told you in Mason that that other boy kept doing things to Mason. And if you know my Mason, he's an introvert and he's shy. He's a very smart boy, but he's very quiet. So everyone around Mason's like, you can't trouble Mason. He's the tamest, most sweetest boy. If anyone starts with him in any way, they're bullying him. The guy that was bullying him was actually like a nerd in our thingy, in his class, and it was part of his friendship group at the time. And then this boy just took a turn. So at first I said to the mum that Mason was distressed, and I said, listen, he's getting on his nerves. And I think Mason would be the only child that boy could get away with doing that to. That's why he was doing it to him, because you used to wear trousers that looked like pedal pushers. You had jack-ups, your shit was tapped. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, he was just he was a proper nerd. And I used to say to Mason, listen, tell him, don't touch me, because I know Mason wouldn't be saying anything. I knew he wouldn't be saying anything. So Mason's younger brother, who's 3 years younger than him, is of a different source, let's say. So when they were both going to that school together, because Mason's now in year 8 in secondary school, the other one must have been obviously a little bit younger. So every day then Mason was coming home and he started to get quite distressed about it. So when I picked him up, I spoke to the mum. I said, listen, I didn't have patience at this point. I spoke to the teacher, I spoke to him, and he said, he's hitting him. And he's thinking, oh no, he's not.
Sorry?
Don't tell me he's not. He's hitting him. So you haven't even asked him. I'm telling you now, you're telling me he's not. You've not even asked the child. You've just turned around and told, I said, he is. Don't make it happen again. I'm not even discussing it. Don't make him touch him again. He's hitting him. He doesn't lie. He doesn't lie. He doesn't do certain things. Anyway, every day we're coming after school with something. So I said, Mason, what?
He just turned on him like that?
Yeah, just turned on him. He just picked on him because I thought, oh my gosh, this is someone I can pick on. I think he did the first thing to him and he got away with it because Mason's not going to say nothing.
Right.
He's not that child. He's not gonna say. He's just gonna suffer. So I don't know where he comes from. He did it. He must have done it a few times, and every day's coming. Did he do anything? Yeah, he kicked me or he fingered me. So I was like, So we were like, Mason, you say something. You do this. You tell him. You push him. This is where it got to. I started fucking doing Karate Kid classes with him for this one little idiot boy, right? And then it got to the point where we'd pick him up from school. We got in the car one day. I think I told you about this. And we sat him down and I said, Mason, he's like, yeah, he looks sad. What happened? He did this. So then Carter, who's probably about 6 at the time, goes, oh, what did you do, Mason? What did you do? Nothing. I don't want to hear it. Right? The next day, I said, stop talking like that, because you know how he talks. He's like, nothing. What did you do? What did you do? Nothing. Oh, like he was disgusted. The next day, he took the little one took the matter into his own hands and dealt with the boy.
Wow.
That was it.
Wow.
That was it.
That's it, done.
He just dealt
What
with
did he do?
He kicked him in the nuts, which is not good.
No.
It's not great. But he was
I'm tired of your shit.
It's deserving.
And I think they're not even in the same, like they're in, because they're different age group and different key stages. They're not even in the same thing. So at playtime, Carter must have gone and sought them out. He must have looked for them. Yeah. He was like little year 1 or year 2. He went and looked for them and just went and dealt with it. He was done tired of it. He was done tired.
Yeah, no, man.
That is so funny.
No.
So funny.
Davina's saying, go on.
Not, though. No, but it's not. So I think
and this
sometimes
is the thing.
the kids them just need a little, because that little one is me on steroids. He's me on 100, like he's me on like 1,000,000. So, and he was sick of hearing about it. And he's like, how can you let? Even he had sized up the boy, and he thought, how are you going to let this idiot? I think that's what he had in his head. He was like, let me just come and deal with this and put an end to this foolishness. I'm tired. That was at 6. This was at like 6 years old.
Hey, that
Mason
is too
let
funny.
no one bother him. Mason might let no one bother him now. So,
Yeah.
He's learned.
Nah. Davina's saying, I would say if they slap you, you thump them. If they thump you, you kick them. Always go one harder. I mean, as Gary was saying, there are levels to it, and you don't want your kid to. One thing I would hate is if my child was a bully.
yeah.
You can't be a bully, you can't start stuff, but you definitely, like Tottenham, growing up in Tottenham and going to the schools that I went to, you had to learn to stand up for yourself, or you're gonna get eat up out here in these streets. And even as an adult, these people come for you and you have to stand up for yourself, or they just keep coming for no reason. So I think it's not every time you have to answer to it, but there are sometimes you're going to definitely have to defend yourself. And like I said, I wouldn't want my child to be a bully at all. That would sicken me just as much. But I don't want my child to be coming in every minute crying because someone's kicked him or slapped them or pinched them or with their things, or like, nah, you're gonna have to hit them. You're gonna have to do something.
That's where I'd have to bring the whole Karen energy. I need to speak to the head teacher. I need a meeting with the parent. Yeah, and if the parent doesn't listen,
Karen. She's a self-proclaimed
Black Karen.
Are you a Black Karen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. I love it. But I would have to. First, we'll start off with the meetings with the head, okay? I'm not doing the assistant. And we'll have the class teacher, anyone that has witnessed any events, any person, and we'll all go into the meeting and we'll speak about it. Now, if it continues after then it's me and the parent. Like, I'm not the children. You stay over there. You can watch, but it's me and the parent. Because if you didn't hear and able to teach your child to stop it, then we're gonna go and rock it. Because
Yeah, I think there's a reason why I ain't got kids in this year lifetime. Boy,
it's stressful, honestly.
Yeah.
Don't remember, Trish. I sent you that thing from my daughter. The whole.
And steam was coming out my ears, and it wasn't even my child. But I was like, what? Because this kid decided that she wanted money from Gary's kid, and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna." What did she say? She was gonna cut her or something, isn't it? You've got money.
I'll send you the thing, like the whole thing. So, but her mum dealt with it and things like that. But it was like a whole, like voice messages from one child to another child. Like, yeah, you need to give me your bank card. And like my daughter's like, why? You got your own bank card? My bank card's been frozen, so I want to you need to give me yours so I can use it. And I was like, whole thing back. And then if you don't, I'll send you the thing. At the time, I was like, Bob sent it to me and said, listen, I listened to it. I was like, and I saw the conversation between the two mums, because my daughter's mum forwarded it to the child's mum, and then they had a conversation, and the mum was sickened, and she said, well, you're handling it, just don't make it happen again. You don't let the child live. But so that's what I said. Sometimes, like, the whole getting involved in the things, it's not worth just chat. But most 90% of parents you talk to have got sense, and they're gonna just stop it. I know you're gonna get 5 or 10% of people that are a bit off thing, but I said just thumping up the child.
Yeah, I wouldn't, but I would expect my child to.
No, I'd expect my child to defend itself. Yeah, but because you have to. But no, I don't think adults should go like smacking kids. Get out of here, because if my kid's right or wrong, and an adult came along and smacked my child, all hell would break loose.
It can be very tempting when a child has been on your child's neck. You
can tell them about themselves, but you can't touch them.
You can't touch them. You want to, though. I've had a child that I just wanted to swing around the playground. I just looked at them and thought, the way I would rock your shit, like you're my age. Like, I've thought about that because of the hell that they've put that child through at one point. And it was that one. And like you said, when you listen to the voice notes and you see the messages on Snapchat and shit, and it just, honestly, you think, these pick me up evilly.
They are.
They're wicked, and they're evil, and they're spiteful, and they're hateful. What's wrong with them?
Yeah. Jealous.
But you see it on social media. Like, sometimes you see it when remember when that black girl got beat up by the mum, and the whole family come down to school, wherever it was all on the news. And the girl was...
was it Caucasian girl on one?
Yeah, and the two black girl and her mum and her cousins are all trying to thump her up, and it was a big hoo-ha. It actually made it to like ITV and BBC News.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And the school had to come up with some apology and suspend and like ongoing. So, and it got to the stage, I think one of the girls hit the black girl, and the black girl bust her ass. And then mum, cousin come down to bust up.
From your mum and cousin, this is why I've got no children. I won't say too much on social media, but from mum, cousin, be prepared for what I come with then.
But see, maybe just get a hand. Just like, literally, that's why I said sometimes let the school. If the school don't deal with it, I mean, you can take. I'm not saying legal action, but you could take action against it. And it's like there's a series of things going on. Yes, obviously you don't want your child to end up mentally disturbed or issued from things like that.
It's traumatic.
It's traumatic, yeah. I definitely agree.
Yeah, it's traumatic. I remember when I was 11, a 16-year-old broke my nose because she just didn't like me. Not because I did anything. You just think you're too nice. And she broke my nose. And that stayed with me. I'm going to be 50 next year. And that's always stayed with me. But
cool. Anyway, I've got to fly out anyway.
Yeah.
Ladies, have a great evening. See you later.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. But we're going to wrap up now.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're going to wrap up now anyway. But it is traumatic. But what I have learned is that you do have to stand up for yourself. It just is what it is. And if you don't, they keep coming. That's what bullying is. You know what I mean? So, yeah. You have to learn to defend yourself. Yeah. You don't want to be that bully out there. You don't want to take things too far, and it's teaching your kids to know what to walk away from what not to. Do you know what I mean? But if someone keeps repeatedly coming, rock their shit.
Yeah.
My child could never be a bully because I would handle their business, but no way could my child be set upon either. Absolutely.
Yeah.
In my youngest child's experience, the school did jack shit, so my advice took place. Rock their shit.
Yeah.
And that's where I stand with it. Because sometimes the schools don't do anything.
Yeah. They don't sometimes. They do the soft thingy approach, which doesn't work. Meanwhile, things are just getting out of hand. It's just crazy.
And sometimes you just have to show them that you're not the one once, and then they leave you alone.
Yeah.
True.
Do you know what I mean?
The kids of this age, I don't know, some of them are a bit too... Why is my child still awake at this time?
Yeah.
Let's wrap up so you can go get to your child.
Mommy.
Like, you've had your 2 hours plus. Yeah. So
it's funny because yesterday she was asleep by 8 o'clock. Today it's a different story.
Yeah.
But I wasn't on anything yesterday
because you're preoccupied now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was lovely to meet you.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's wrap up.
Thank you for having me.
They're not having it. They're like, come on, mummy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a lovely evening. Thank you.
All right, gorgeous. Thanks for coming. Come back, yeah?
I will do. I will do.
Bye.
Bye, honey.
How do I?
I'll remove you from here. And then, yeah, there you go.
Oh, bless her.
And then she should be able to. Good night, Carol.
Good night.
Before we wrap up, guys, Natalie, tell them about Black Excellence Weekender again.
Yeah, we've got a whole weekender coming up. So you know that we did the Black Excellence pop-up fests. We did 4 over about 6-7 months, maybe longer, actually, the way it came out. But we did 4 over about 6-7 months. And it was like a luxury sip and shop, like a luxury pop-up shop. It was a pop-up fest where we platformed loads of Black-owned businesses where you could shop, sip, eat, buy food, network. We had DJ, we had G-Wiz, Gary, who was there playing music, and it was just a good opportunity to meet, connect, and buy from local Black-owned businesses whilst partying, eating, and meeting other people. And we've kind of gone into that with like a whole weekender now, but this weekender is platforming different Black-owned businesses and Black-owned event brands. So for the first day, we will have, on the Friday, we've got Trisha's Cupcakes and Cocktails brand. I'm sure everyone knows about that. So we'll be doing like a
free cupcakes,
enlarged version with other vendors there also on the Friday evening. On the Saturday, we will be doing the pop-up fest, even bigger and better than usual. So with your different Black-owned businesses, the music, the drinks, the food. On the Saturday evening, my daughter has a dance company, and she'll be having like a pre-launch showcase and little after soiree. And on Sunday, there's like a pre-pop-up, isn't there? There's like a little pre-pop-up before Quincy's comedy launch, Quincy's Comedy Lounge thank you party and kind of closing party for the weekend. So it's jam-packed. There's loads. Check out our event page on Facebook, the Black Excellence Weekender, and it's got all the links. So we've got like one Eventbrite page with all the different events for the different days. So you can buy tickets for all of the events. You can get tickets for 1 or 2, depending. We've got some of the events that are free, like the Cupcakes and Cocktails and the Pop-Up Fest. But then we've got the dance showcase and the Quincy's Comedy Lounge, which are different ticketed events, but, you know, still very reasonable. It's just going to be a fantastic weekend, jam-packed with Black Excellence.
Yeah, opportunity to support Black economics and, just support each other and rise, build, grow, circulate our Black pound. It's time to just stop the talking now, so we could do it.
Yeah.
I'm scared, but let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, gorgeous. Let's wrap up.
Yes. My mum called me a million times. Let me call her back.
Yeah, and see what's going on. I'm going to go and check on my mum as well. All right, hon.
All right then. See you later.
Love you loads. Take
You
care.
too. Bye.
Bye.